Hey everyone, hope you're having a great Thursday night. Got the gang here. We got Zach Gilday, Peyton Langford, who I accidentally called Zach in the Fox newscast.
It's a compliment,
Yeah.
Oh,
You
don't say
guys
that.
look very similar, that's for sure. So hope everybody's doing well. Oh man, El Paso is dusty. Man, it's windy there. It's windy here. Sure is windy in the Osho. You're really close to the low. In fact, you might get a little more thunderstorms, Roby, than we have here. So what's going on, man? We've got, first of all, a cold front that's on the way. That's moving in. We're going to make this kind of a short and sweet Facebook Live. We also have a chilly weekend ahead, and we'll go through all those temperatures and the big temperature drop. But check out this system that's coming in. Now, Zach and I and Peyton, we've been watching this system. And, first of all, there were tornadoes. There were a few confirmed, too, weren't there?
2 or 3 at least.
Yeah. So that's right at the nose of the jet. Now, earlier last week, we were talking about severe weather potential. And the reason that we were is because the nose of the jet looks like it was coming into more of northwest Arkansas. But then over time, we got the trends and we showed it was lifting north. And then that's why we removed the severe weather potential. Even though we didn't really have it in the forecast, we just said this isn't going to be severe. And we might not even get a whole lot of rain tonight.
Oh, yeah. And another factor was that low across Florida, kind of keeping the moisture a little bit further south.
Keep it in that bay.
Yeah.
Literally.
So the low that was in the Gulf, what that did is it allowed northerly winds behind the low, also swept the moisture to the east, and that's why we just didn't see a whole lot of storms. Kathy, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And yes, I see your profile picture. Just terrible things going on overseas. That's for sure. Absolutely. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Dan, the happy man. I am happy because you know what? It's my Friday. Yeah. I'm the hippy dippy weather man with your hippy dippy weather, man. Oh, George Carlin. All right, so let's zoom in here. Notice the jet stream. There's still some energy moving in. We're still going to see, I think, some thunderstorms in the vicinity, close to us. Maybe not right over us because we look at Hollow Heat and Cooling Mega Doppler and, wow, there is a little bit of storm activity. That's it. That might be it for the night.
Easy night.
What do you think? You think there's going to be more?
There's just way too much energy.
I mean, the models keep pushing it further and further back.
They do.
I mean, maybe towards daybreak, could get a few showers. As far as storm potential, I think it's looking pretty low. I think you would agree. I think tomorrow's dew points are going to drop off fast.
Yeah. Now, what does that imply about our weather forecast for tomorrow?
Means that it's going to be should see some clearing. The sky should definitely clear, and the fire weather that could be a concern too.
Yeah, fire weather could be an issue with the drop in dew points, very rapidly drop.
Oh yeah,
and windy as well. So Southwest Missouri, there could be some serious fire weather. Especially, we're not going to get a whole lot of rain. So let's get back to this. We're going to talk about the eclipse here coming up in just a bit because, yikes, boy, there's a lot of cloud cover on the backside of this system. And not only that, but Zach, Peyton, and I, we dropped our temperatures for Saturday. Look at all this cold air advection. That's actually a pretty decent snowstorm that's happening in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. I mean, it's that time of the year again.
It's crazy.
But then you're going to see here the severe weather threat. It misses us, as Haley said, missing Arkansas, unless she's not here and she's missing Arkansas, or she's saying the severe weather threat might be missing Arkansas. When is the eclipse? Great question. We're going to answer that. It's on Saturday, Deanna. And we'll go through all of that. And we'll let you know all about that. But, it might be all for naught. That reminds me of Spaceballs. All for naught. I could see Dan. You know what? That's a good idea. Dress as the hippy dippy weather, man. Yeah. I like that. That's a good idea. Might have to watch that skit again. I moved to northern Indiana in July. There you go. That's why you're saying you missed. Whoa, there's going to be a lot of cloud cover in northern Indiana, northern Indiana for sure. It's been awfully cool too. Yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of chilly weather headed our way. So here's a look at that future track for overnight tonight. I mean, that's barely anything. This is the graph. No, this is the graph model. And then you're going to see 3 p.m. That's where the clearing happens. Westerly winds. That's going to clear out the moisture. Now here is what happens on Saturday. Oh, man. This has been trending cloudier and cloudier, and I think we're going to be in
something.
trouble. There may be small breaks in the clouds, but I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, you have that cold air advection, that wraparound low.
Mhm.
So it brings all the moisture that it did have from the south, brings it all the way around that cold air conveyor belt, condenses all that moisture, and then you get a whole lot of cloud cover.
The CCB, right? Cold conveyor belt.
Mhm.
Yep, right on. So yeah, there's Saturday morning. Now the eclipse occurs, and we're going to go through those times exactly. But there's noon. That is around maximum eclipse, which is 11:53, and we're going to go through all that in just a second. But there's a look at the cloud cover. I mean, that's pretty overcast. So overcast. I think we got to go through the blog, and I've got to update that and say
Yeah.
River Valley is in trouble too.
And that's the graph model, correct?
Yep,
And that usually does pretty good with the
with
cloud
cloud
cover.
cover. And look, if we zoom out, Central Arkansas is going to be good. Southwest Arkansas is going to be good. What about the eclipse for? We got a lot of numbers on there, obviously. That looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
New Mexico, might be some clouds, but those are mostly high clouds, so I don't think that's going to be a super big issue. But yeah, we'll show you a more wider view too. All right, so let's get to the eclipse. Talk about the partial eclipse. We'll take the camera off the screen. No, this is not a total eclipse. This is a partial eclipse. So, I'm going to talk about the total eclipse towards the end of this Facebook Live. But at 10:26, in the upper right-hand portion of the sun, as you're looking through this through safety approved, ISO approved solar eclipse glasses, you gotta have those. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
What that means is, total eclipse of the heart, or
Said that earlier.
the ring of fire too. So anyways, that's what it's going to look like at 10:26, and you're going to be like, I don't see any difference. I don't see any big deal. What's all this stuff about? Well, this is a long evolving event, and some people think it's hype. Now, if you'll notice, you look at that black disk. You notice how it's a little bit smaller than the sun, which is the yellow or orange disk. That is the sun, and because the moon is farther away from the Earth, what that does is it prevents us from seeing the eclipse, and also it prevents anybody from seeing a total eclipse. So that's about 67% covered at noon. 11:53 is a max eclipse. And then over time, it goes away, and it pretty much becomes a non-event after max eclipse. So what are some of the things that you're going to witness during the eclipse? Well, not a whole lot, to be honest with you. 67% might sound like a lot. It looks like a lot. The sun is a very bright star.
Yeah.
And just a small little sliver of the sun leads to so much light. It's like, what? This is still pretty bright. Now, there will be somewhat of a milky white grayish color to the sky. It's really unique. I can't describe it. We probably won't even see that because of the cloud cover.
What about your shadows?
The shadows is what's
Shadows.
cool. That is what's cool, is the shadows, because what you can do is you can put your hands up like this, and instead of, like, for instance, if I have a light and I've got that really bright light and you can see the shadowing on my face, it looks like black spots because that's what the light looks like. But with the sun, since it's a crescent, there's going to be all these little crescents on the floor if we have clearing. So that remains to be seen if we do. I don't think it's looking very good. But yeah, if you do that, that's going to allow you to see crescents. Now, there's also something that the kids can do, and this is the DIY Total Solar Eclipse Viewer. And this comes in pretty handy. The Sirius Sam. She's probably like, I don't understand. Oh, because I raised my hand and I started talking.
Trash.
All right. Anthony said, got the Eclipse glasses. Nice.
No,
Very
heck yeah.
cool. All right. So let's go to this. This is the DIY Eclipse Viewer. So here's what's cool. You can watch this in the replay. You can also get these instructions on an app and on our blog, which I'll go to in just a bit. But this is what you do with the Eclipse Viewer. You have a shoebox, tape, foil, pencil, paper, scissors. Those are the items that you'll need. You're going to cut, which can be a little difficult, but you're going to cut 2 small holes, one on the left, one on the right, on the long end of the box. Then you got foil. Then the foil, what it's going to do is block out all the sun except for one little prick, a pinprick, if you will, or poke a small hole in that foil. So when the sun shines through that little dot, because of the aspect on the back edge of the box, it's going to be a lot bigger. And so it's kind of like almost like a magnifying glass, if you will. So now you add the lid on the top, so it's dark inside. And then you've got the cellophane on the left, or you got the aluminum foil on the left, and then you're going to put your back to the sun. So the sun is to your back. You hold up the box, and then you look through, and that's what you'll see. Now, this is almost exactly what the eclipse is going to look like as that moon shadow comes in from the top right, and then moves to the bottom left. So that's the light passing through the hole, and you'll be able to safely watch it. If there's cloud cover, you're not going to see any of that. So, anyways, and if we go to weather 2, if you're wondering where the ring of fire is going to be, it's not going to be here, unfortunately, but it will be in Southwest Texas, New Mexico, and the weather is looking great for viewing in Southwest Texas. There's going to be some great pictures. There were some puffy clouds today. It was a school project. Cool. I made one of these when we had a total solar eclipse many years ago. That's cool. Dan, where is the puffy clouds at? Where were they at? Not only were they puffy, we've got a new phrase for you, Richard. Horizontal convective rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rolls.
So how about that? We'll say 8 horizontal convective rolls instead of the puffy clouds. Maybe that's just as funny.
I like it.
I don't know, Zach. Jacob still has his 2017 glasses. I did too. Here's the thing. This partial eclipse is going to pique interest, and then those eclipse glasses are just going to fly off the shelves. So there's that DIY eclipse viewer. Let's go back to this. You can see that we're kind of in the 65 to 68% of the path of the annular eclipse. And if you're wondering when it passes through, well, this is another map right here. So you can see it's going kind of fast, but it gives you an idea. 9 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. They're 2 hours behind. Here's 1 hour behind us. So this is about 11:30. Here it is making its way through Albuquerque, 11:30 our time, and then it makes its way through Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, Corpus Christi, San Antonio.
Utopia.
That's yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it Utopia? Was it on there?
is.
All right.
Just west of San Antonio.
So yeah. Now, Zach, why did you say Utopia?
7 days of Utopia.
Yeah, I told him to watch that movie, 7 Days in Utopia. It's a great golf
I think my
movie.
golf game got a little bit better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We got to put that to the test because
Yeah.
mine was horrible last Friday.
You're going to have a redemption tournament.
Well, we do have some more storms that are popping up. You can see them to the northwest. So that's in Osage County, just a little bit of development.
This
So
low could use a redemption round.
what about,
See what happens.
Yeah.
let me ask you this.
It's a
What
good
about
one.
next week, Thursday?
Another cold front, like clockwork.
But is there instability?
Nope.
Nope.
Because it's going to be insanely dry.
So no severe weather for a
Nope.
while until the pattern flips or pattern changes. Do you guys have any questions for me or for Zach or Peyton? By the way, this is a look at the eclipse on Saturday, and this is basically the cloud cover forecast. So not a whole lot happening in New Mexico. Let me go back to noon. So there's about high noon, but boy, look at that wraparound low. You can see all those clouds, and that's just not favorable. 3 kilometer doesn't show the clouds as far south, but I think it's underdone.
Texarkana would be nice though.
Ooh,
there you
Texarkana, you're solid, Deanna. You can see it. How cold will it get? We didn't answer that. But before I get there, the last thing I want to show you is I think we need to show you this too, because this is pretty cool. So this is the weather blog that we made. Eclipse for October 14th. We got all those graphics, but one thing you didn't see, go ahead and click on the video. I did a cool little 3D thing in the studio. You can make that full screen. You won't be able to hear it, but you got to go to the blog to listen to it. Just go ahead and make it full screen. Yeah. So we're going to go back in time here a little bit, and you'll get to see a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. You're not going to hear it. It's not going to play. So, but this is a video that I made in the studio using some augmented reality technology. Zach keeps going back on that. But so kind of fast forward it
Yeah,
into the
skip
middle of
through
it. Yeah,
parts,
skip
meat and
through a lot of
potatoes.
it. Get through this. There we go. So there's the moon. This is kind of an idea exactly how an eclipse occurs. There's the shadowing that happens. And you get two different types of shadows. We're going to be in the penumbra, which is the partial eclipse part. And then you've got the little triangle to the right of the moon. That's called the umbra. That's where the total solar eclipse is, but that's a little bit farther out away from us because the moon's too far out. And then you get the antumbra. So you can watch this by going to our website, knwa.com, and you can get all that information on there. But kind of cool, shows you a little bit more about the orbit of the moon and how that works. And if you're wondering what it looks like from the Earth, this is what the Ring of Fire will appear like, as you'll see here in just a second. And so, yeah, the sun, what's cool about an eclipse is that the sun is 400 times the size of the moon, which is huge. However, it's 400 times far away. So that makes it look like the same size. See, that's what it's going to look like, the Ring of Fire. It'll darken, not completely. I've actually never seen an annular eclipse. But I have seen a total solar eclipse, and I do want to end it on that. But a lot of people asking about the temperatures in the 7-day. So let's go through that. And then we'll shut this down at about 11 o'clock, and we'll be on our way. And none of it would make sense with a flat Earth. Yeah, that's true. So there's a look at Saturday, Sunday in the mid to upper 50s. You can, if you watch a Johnny Cash video and watch, what Total Eclipse of the Heart? Who sings that? Is it Pat Benatar?
Before my time, I don't know the answer.
I don't remember.
Johnny Cash.
But I do know this. I know that Total Eclipse of the Heart is the weirdest video if you've ever seen it. It is Bonnie Tyler. Yeah, Bonnie Tyler. My bad. Bonnie Tyler. So there's the 7-day. Can you sing Ring of Fire? Oh, it says, can you sing it? That's what it said. I thought you said, can you see? Anyways, here's the 7-day. So temperature is dropping off. 59, 60, 65 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, 71, 68. So, yeah, a little bit on the chilly side.
Fall's finally here, folks. What?
And then here's a look at the River Valley. Just a dramatic pause. 79 on Friday. Slight chance of rain, 20%. Yeah, Bonnie Tyler, she got it. Yep. Watch the video. You've got to see it. It is strange.
Huh.
So Saturday, Sunday, cooler weather. Might even need to drop those temperatures in the River Valley, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll probably do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Zach and Peyton will be in. Monday, Tuesday, then you can see those morning lows. But to answer your question about the freeze, it's going to be close on Tuesday morning, 35. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it gets pretty chilly. So that's that. All right. They want to hear a Ring of Fire. Do you want to do it? You want to sing? Yeah. Sing, Zach. I fell into a burning ring of fire.
I don't even know what the words are.
I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. That's right. Yeah. Hey. And then Total Eclipse of the Heart. There's that one right there. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. You've heard that song, haven't you, Zach? No,
I mean,
Nope.
not in a long time.
that's not in the.
Everything
it's
I
not,
listened to is before the 70s.
it's not in the Slipknot repertoire, is
No.
it?
Different genre.
All right, back to this total eclipse of April 8th, 2024. This is where we're going to end it because let me tell you something. You have got to get to totality. It's totality or bust. I want to bring this up here real quick. Hold on. All I got to do is type up April 8th. So I've already got this made. Oh, solar eclipse animation. That's not it. All
I
right.
hope it looks like that though.
Yeah, it's going to look like that. Yeah, it's okay. So, first of all, this is the path going through Arkansas. So, you notice Fayetteville, Huntsville, you're like, oh, I'm pretty close. If you're close, you're missing it. If you're not in that path of totality, think of it this way. It's like, what's your favorite restaurant? If you were to pick any restaurant.
Cape Cod, Whitman House.
Ooh, the Whitman House. Okay, so
Favorite.
let's say you have an opportunity to eat the food at the Whitman House. Okay, the partial eclipse is like standing outside smelling the food.
Ooh.
And the total solar eclipse is having the 5-course meal.
Gotta be
Which one's
gotta
better?
be in the restaurant.
Got to be in the restaurant. That's right. So you have got to be in this path of totality. Now, here's the deal. Like, there's going to be 1.5 million people potentially flocking to Arkansas. So what are some of the areas that are included? Well, we'll zip in here, Scott County and LaFleur County. Imagine that. They get the eclipse. They always get everything.
They get everything.
Mena, Wicks, Mount Ida. Like, Mount Ida is pretty close to that blue line, which is the totality, the center point. Morrilton, Clarksville, Hot Springs Village,
Heck yeah.
Clarksville,
Probably.
Ozark. Now, you see Ozark is in the path, but here's the thing you need to know. The closer you are to the outside, the less dark it is. Also, the shorter your totality is, and it's dramatic too.
Yeah, might as well make that extra little trip down to like Russellville, you know?
Oh, so Texarkana, Deanna, it's there. You're in that path. The problem is you're on the outside edge. So if you really want to know how long your totality is, I'm going to show this. Let's bring it up. Bring up timeanddate.com, and we can bring this up full, and I could show you.
Youngins.
Oh
need to
yeah,
listen to
dude.
old
I've
stuff.
I've seen that. Johnny Cash covered 9 Inch Nails. Yep.
Young whippersnappers need to listen to the old stuff. That's all I listen to, the old stuff.
Heck yeah. All right. So Zach, here's what I want you to do. You're gonna go in here and we're gonna go zoom in and we're gonna click on the graphic here. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this a lot smaller so you can see it. All right. So let's just do that. I'm gonna give you an example here, Deanna. This is just for you, so you can see.
100%.
Just for you. Texarkana is 100%, but watch this. Oh, you gotta make it a little bigger.
Control plus.
Yep. Do that. Okay, so we're going to click on Texarkana. Look at your total duration of totality. 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Okay. Now, if you just went a little bit more northwest, just a little bit, let's say like right here, look at your total duration. 4 minutes, 6 seconds. It doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some advantages to being on the outside. You get Bailey's beads where you get to see the moon's terrain kind of make the sun appear beaded. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you see the beads moving too. It is awesome. But yeah, you see that? This is education on the eclipse. So it's best to be close to the center line for totality. How about Russellville? Russellville has 4 minutes, 13 seconds for totality. So that's actually really, really nice. How about Fort Smith? Whoa, look at Fort Smith. And I'm going to go back to weather one.
If not get 100%, they get 99.9.
But 99.9 is being outside of the Whitman house.
Yeah.
Look at this right here.
It's like a home run in baseball.
Oh, so here's the thing. If the education isn't proper on this, people are going to wait for the eclipse in Fort Smith, thinking that Fort Smith is in totality. They're not. And I know that seems like ridiculous that it's just that little bit. It's not like a shower. It's not like a thunderstorm where there's proximity.
Right.
This is legit. You've got to be in the path of totality. I can't stress this enough. So in July 11th, 91, I went to Baja. I was southeast of Baja, and I saw my first total solar eclipse.
You had your first Baja blast.
And it was my first Baja blast. That's right. This is before Baja blast even existed. Maybe that's why they got it.
Maybe.
But I'm gonna get one tonight too. I'm all sorts of fired up. But the total solar eclipse totality for that lasted 6 minutes 55 seconds. That is unheard of for an eclipse. That's a long, long time. So that was a very, very long time. And totality was so cool. There's a 360-degree sunset. It's just absolutely amazing what you see. I can't stress that enough. As we get closer, I'm going to tell you more about that eclipse. Now, there's going to be gridlock on the interstates. Like during that, they're not going to let people just pull over on the side of the road. No. It's going to be
chaos.
Kind of weird, man. And here's the thing.
Like end of the world.
This is for 4 minutes and 20 seconds of totality. And I know that seems like it's so silly, but it's something that you'll never see again in your life. Well, you could travel and there's eclipse chasers that go all around, but it's such a cool event because let me tell you something. So first of all, it starts getting kind of dark, like a partial eclipse. But as you get closer and closer to totality, you start to see just a little sliver of the sun. So now you get these crescent waves that come across the floor. They race really fast because the moon shadow is going at like over 500 miles an hour. So as it comes, that's slow for a pitch, for an Astros pitch, right?
Yeah.
So you get that those crescent waves that come over, and then it starts getting totally dark. The temperature drops. You're going to see the corona. The corona is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. It's the outside of the moon. This is kind of what outside of the sun, and it's outside of the moon. So this is what that total solar eclipse is going to look like. It looks like that. That is the corona. Now, with the partial eclipse, you got to keep the eclipse glasses on the whole time. But with a total solar eclipse, you can remove the eclipse glasses during this time. So you can see that with your own eyes, no filter.
Really?
You hear crickets chirping. You hear birds stop chirping. It's so eerie. What else? You get the Bailey's beads. You get the diamond ring effect. Check this out. I've actually got a picture of all three of these. So this is an example of all the things that you see in a total solar eclipse. Go back here. So this is the other eclipse that happened. So this is all the stuff that you get to see. You get to see Bailey's beads. See, this is Bailey's beads right here, where you have the moon's terrain at times blocking out the sun, but then other times it doesn't. You also get to see solar prominences, those solar flares that you can see with your own eyes off the sun. You can see a little glow of the corona. Then the corona gets full and it morphs and it changes. But then you get the diamond ring. And the diamond ring happens when the sun starts either just barely getting covered up or at the end of the eclipse. Now, at this point, you got to put your eclipse glasses on.
Can I look at that with my own eyes? Or no?
So I did. I looked at it with my own eyes, and my eyes hurt. And I had it on there maybe 5 seconds. So the camera's like, that just said, don't look at that without your eclipse glasses for sure. Another thing that's wild, a sunset, 360 degrees around on the horizon. And then finally you get to see planets that you don't see during the day.
I was going to say, I think
Mercury.
that would be the coolest part.
That is cool.
Yeah.
To like watch like the sky.
We saw,
get blue.
yeah, it gets different color, and animals just start acting weird. And then once the eclipse is over, the climax is done. That's it. Because then the moon is just moving away from totality, and then it's just a long duration partial eclipse. So what happens is everybody bails, and then you get gridlock on the roads and on the interstates and stuff.
So I'm taking the week off. Gonna head down to Hot Springs Village with my grandfather.
The week off. All right. I'm taking Monday off for sure.
It's gonna be completely. You're not gonna be able to go.
We're not gonna do any weather. There's gonna be no weather. Watch her be an outbreak.
We'll just do a bunch of live streams.
Now here's the problem. As cool as this sounds, if there's cloud cover, we're screwed.
Screw it.
Yeah.
We're screwed. So what we do is we move where there's no cloud cover.
Yeah, we'll just go to wherever.
In fact, this was what happened in 2011 or 2017. You got to hear this video because I was so frustrated. Well, we were all set up in Boonville, Missouri, high up on the hillside on Harley Park, and we've got all of this cloud cover from a massive complex of storms that formed over Kansas City. And it's just moving east, and it's coming this way, and it's going to cloud up this area. So we're headed east-southeast to try to get south of this big, thick amble. Very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating.
It's not like it's severe season or anything, you know.
Yeah, no, April 8th.
I
Yeah.
mean, somebody has to stay behind and do the weather.
Nah.
Goes.
Nah.
Nah.
Let's all do live
Just
stream.
record.
The Eclipse.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I mean, the Eclipse is at so yeah, you're probably wondering what about time?
Oh, yeah,
So
that's a good question.
yeah, the time. Tell me what time. All right, so it's like right around 1:00 in the afternoon. So
money.
yeah. So check this out. Go back to that time. You can see it right there. Partial begins at 12:31. Maximum is at 1:50 p.m. So
I'll go into the line and see what it is.
go into the line. Go to your Hot Springs Village. Full begins at.
Not that.
Now here's the problem. 150. That is when you have close to peak heating. You get cumulus clouds. Nashville had a cumulus cloud in 2017 that blocked totality for them. There's one tiny little cumulus cloud that popped up, and it was thick too. So
It's horrible.
because I know Ginger Z was on top of one of the buildings in Nashville, and oh man, yeah, it clouded up.
That'd
So
be crazy.
all right, guys. Well, any questions at all before we close this out? This Facebook Live. I'll talk about eclipses for days, man, for years, honestly. Zach, Peyton, you gotta see one. It's the coolest thing. All right. Last thing, my wife, I bring her out to a lot of stuff. Meteor showers, comets, planets. She's like, really? You brought me out for this?
It's hype.
It's hype. It's hype.
That's
So I was telling her about the eclipse, and I was like, I'm hyping it up. Well, when she got done seeing the eclipse, we were driving back, got in the car, and she goes, Dan, you're right. That was the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. And she's like, we're going to the next one.
all right.
So there you go. That's my wife.
There you go.
Take my wife's word for it. So
And that's a wrap.
the 6-month weather planner. Now, all right, one last question about winter.
It's gonna be mid.
I avoided that, but how about weather October 21st? Ooh, it's getting a little bit later. And that looks pretty chilly in Eureka Springs.
I saw a question. Somebody was asking about
Fall
possible,
foliage.
freeze.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's a chance Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday morning next week.
Nah.
Nah.
I think it'll be like patchy frost. I don't think we see like a good freeze until probably like Halloween.
Well, yeah, you have a hard freeze. You have a killing freeze.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I think some areas down to 32 degrees Tuesday morning.
The higher terrain maybe
Yeah.
could be.
Protected valley maybe.
Yeah, it could be
Oh.
those lower 30s.
You know, Deadly Hippie Outdoors has a good point. You know why?
Yeah.
Duck season,
Duck
man.
season.
Yeah. Those cold blasts, they're going to
We do
drive the
have
ducks
that.
out.
We do have the hunting graphic.
I'm
We
ready for
actually,
duck season.
we don't have duck hunting season. No, we need you know what we need? We need like duck hunt, the dog that pops up. Put that in the graphic.
Yeah.
I think there is a graphic on that, like
Could
kind
just-
of on the weather community.
Me and
so.
Peyton can make it tomorrow.
All right. And they have the dog laugh. You know what game I'm talking about, right?
Duck
On
hunt,
the old
yeah.
Nintendo?
Duck
Yeah.
hunt. Mhm.
Nah.
All right. Someone asked about the winter, but I don't see it anymore.
It was like, how's the winter gonna be? What's the winter gonna be like?
Yeah, do you see it? I don't see it.
Well, it was there. Not crazy. I think it's gonna be mild. I
Mid.
think it's gonna be wetter than normal. So I could see the possibility of ice accumulation being above average. But overall, I think it's just gonna be run of the mill Northwest Arkansas winter. That's
All right.
Arkansas slushy.
Go Hogs.
There you go, Dennis.
Go Hogs.
Go Hogs.
Go Ice Hogs.
That's all you got to say is just go Hogs. But, man, they need to go a little more in offense. They need to go a little more down the field.
Yeah, I might have changed their name back to the Cardinals.
Eesh.
They're not acting like a wild band of Razorbacks
No.
anymore.
No ice. Yeah, you think there's probably going to be ice with El Nino. You get the subtropical jet. You get those temperature drops. I know this. We've had El Nino patterns before. Kansas City gets clobbered. We miss it. The paths are all to just barely to the north for the winter storms. Well, guys, that does it for me and Zach and Peyton. And it's Oculus Quest 3 time. man. I'm out.
You've been
It's
sitting on
Astros
that.
baseball
for a
time.
couple days.
I've been sitting on that for a couple of days. I can't wait. I am pumped. Can't wait to play the Oculus Quest 3. I love the Oculus so much, and the Quest 3 looks pretty awesome. So that's about it. We'll see you guys.
Go Astros.
Peace. Yeah, Astros fan right here, and Josh Rugger is the Rangers, and so they're going to be battling out in the weather lab.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
hey, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and take care. God bless. Have a great finally Friday.
Richard Nixon, peace.
We'll see you.